I was lying in a hospital bed 3 days after surgery, still barely able to sit up without wincing. My mother stood in the doorway and said, "We can't keep paying for this, Hannah. You're 26. Figure it out yourself." My sister Sienna leaned against the hallway wall and added, "Maybe if you took better care of yourself, we wouldn't be in this mess." Then they left. Just walked out and left me there. My name's Hannah Lewis, and I'm 26 years old. I worked from home as a medical transcriptionist. Quiet job, steady income, nothing flashy. I wasn't the one my family showed off at parties. That was Sienna. She was 23, a part-time model, the one who always got the attention. I was just the boring one, the one who kept her head down, paid her own bills, never asked for anything. Until I got sick. A year ago, I was diagnosed with a chronic condition. I managed the symptoms quietly, didn't make a fuss. But eventually, surgery wasn't optional anymore. It was necessary. I thought my family would understand. I thought they'd be there for me during recovery. I thought wrong. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. Because what happened next changed everything. 2 weeks before my surgery, I sat my mom and Sienna down. I explained that I'd need help for about 6 to 8 weeks. Couldn't drive, couldn't lift anything, couldn't even cook for myself. My mom barely looked up from her phone. "I'm sure you'll manage," she said. "Sienna has her photo shoots, and I have my charity galas." I tried to keep my voice steady. "I just need a ride home from the hospital, that's it." She sighed like I'd asked her to donate a kidney. "Fine, I'll see what I can do." The day of the surgery came. It went well, the doctors said. But when I woke up, I was alone, groggy, in pain, and completely alone. My mom showed up 4 hours late. She walked in looking annoyed, like I'd inconvenienced her by having surgery. In the car on the way home, she said, "You know this is costing us, right? The insurance doesn't cover everything." I was confused. "I have insurance through work. I'm covering the copay myself." "Well, someone has to take time off to deal with you. That's a cost too." I didn't have the energy to argue. When we got home, she put me in the guest room. My old bedroom was now Sienna's closet overflow, racks of clothes everywhere, shoe boxes stacked to the ceiling. I didn't care about the room. I just wanted to rest. But by day 3, things got worse. I needed help getting to the bathroom. The pain meds were wearing off, and every movement felt like someone was tearing me in half. I called for Sienna. She groaned from the hallway. "This is so dramatic. It's just surgery. People recover all the time." Then my mom walked in. She was holding a piece of paper. She handed it to me without saying a word. It was an invoice, printed, itemized, official-looking. Meals, $400. Utilities, $300. Care time, $500. Total, $1,200. For 3 days. I stared at it, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. "What is this?" My mom crossed her arms. "We can't keep subsidizing your health problems. You need to move out by the end of the week." I couldn't speak. They were charging me, like I was a guest at a hotel, like I wasn't their daughter. Day 5 came, and I heard them eating dinner in the dining room. I was still struggling to walk, every step a sharp reminder of the incision across my abdomen. I called out, "Can someone bring me a plate?" Sienna yelled back, "We only made enough for 3. There's bread in the kitchen if you can get it." I tried to make it to the kitchen. I really did. But halfway there, I had to grab the wall to keep from collapsing. That's when I heard my mom on the phone in the next room. "No, she's fine. Just milking it for attention. You know how she is." I stood there, shaking, holding the wall, and I realized something. They didn't care. They never had. Day 7, my mom's friend Carol came over. She saw me struggling in the hallway and looked genuinely concerned. "Oh my goodness, is she okay?" My mom didn't even lower her voice. "She's recovering from a procedure, making it everyone's problem. As usual. Some people have a low pain tolerance." Sienna walked by with a coffee in hand. "Yeah, we've all had to put our lives on hold. It's exhausting." Carol looked uncomfortable. I didn't wait to hear more. I went back to my room and cried until I couldn't anymore. Day 9, my mom came in with another invoice. This one was worse. $12,800 for 9 days. I looked at her, searching for any sign of the mother I thought I knew. "You're my family. I didn't ask to get sick. And we didn't ask to be burdened. You're an adult. Pay up or leave." She said it so coldly, like I was a stranger. "If you don't," she added, "I'll take you to small claims court." Sienna appeared in the doorway. "Maybe if you had a real job, you could afford your own place and your own problems." I felt something snap inside me. I do have a real job. I just can't do it from a hospital bed. My mom's face didn't change. "Then figure it out. We're done here." They left me there, alone, crying, but something else was building inside me. Anger, clarity. I pulled out my phone and texted Jenna, my friend from college. She was a social worker now. I told her everything. Then I started looking at my bank account, my insurance documents, and I realized something they didn't know. What they didn't know was that I'd been saving for years. Since I was 22, I'd put away small amounts every month. Nothing huge, just consistent. By now, I had $12,000 in savings. I also checked my insurance. Turns out they covered way more than I thought. I was due a $4,500 reimbursement check. And my job, the one Sienna called fake, had sent me a care package, along with approval for 8 weeks of paid medical leave and a $3,000 wellness stipend. I went through the mail pile my mom kept on the counter. Buried under magazines, I found it. The check. Dated a week ago. She'd never mentioned it. Never told me it arrived. I did the math. I had nearly $20,000 available. Plus, Jenna had just texted back, "Come stay with me, rent-free, as long as you need." For the first time in days, I felt something other than pain. I felt power. Jenna showed up the next morning with her boyfriend Kyle. He was a physical therapist. They helped me pack while my mom and Sienna were out. Kyle looked at the invoices I'd saved. "What they did is actually vulnerable adult abuse. You could report them?" I thought about it, but I had a better idea. I photographed everything. The invoices, the texts, the recordings I'd secretly made on my phone, legal in my state. While packing, I found more mail they'd hidden, not just my bonus check, my medical bills, insurance statements, all opened. None of them mentioned to me. And then I saw it, a claim form. My mother had tried to submit a claim under her own name for my surgery. Insurance fraud. I called the insurance company right there. The agent sounded alarmed. "We'll need to investigate. Do you want to press charges?" "Not yet, but I want it documented." "Understood. We'll flag this immediately." My mom and Sienna came home just as I was loading the last box into Jenna's car. My mom stood in the driveway. "What's going on here?" I kept walking. "I'm leaving." Sienna's voice went shrill. "You can't just leave. You still owe us money." I got in the car. My mom called after me, loud enough for the neighbors to hear. "She'll come crawling back. She always does." I didn't look back. 2 weeks passed. I healed at Jenna's place, slowly but steadily. Then my mom called, demanding payment. I didn't argue. I just said, "Come to Jenna's, tomorrow, 2 p.m. Bring your invoices." She actually sounded confident when she agreed, like she'd won. They showed up right on time. My mom and Sienna walked into Jenna's apartment looking smug. My mom sat down like she owned the place. So, are you ready to be reasonable? I was already seated at the table. Documents spread out in front of me. Let's talk about what's reasonable. I slid their invoice across the table. You charged me $200 for 3 days of care. What care exactly? My mom didn't miss a beat. We fed you, housed you. You told me to get my own bread. You made me walk on a torn abdominal incision because you only made enough for 3. Sienna rolled her eyes. You're being dramatic. I pulled out my phone, pressed play. Their voices filled the room, laughing, talking about milking me for money, joking about how long they could keep charging me. My mom's face went pale. I wasn't done. I pulled out the insurance statement. You tried to file a fraudulent claim under your own name. That's insurance fraud. A felony. My mom stammered. I was just trying to help. Help yourself to a payout you weren't entitled to. Jenna stepped forward. I'm a licensed social worker. What you did constitutes vulnerable adult abuse. I've documented everything. I held up the hidden mail. You withheld my mail. Federal offense. My mom's voice cracked. Hannah, you're my daughter. I looked her in the eye. Then act like a mother. The silence was heavy. I laid out my terms. I'm not paying you a cent. You drop this debt. And you never contact me again unless it's a genuine apology. My mom's jaw tightened. And if we don't? I send this file to the Insurance Fraud Division and file a report with Adult Protective Services. Your choice. Sienna grabbed my mom's arm. Mom, let's just go. But I had one more thing to say. The surgery you treated like a burden? It saved my life. The tumor was precancerous. I could have died. And you charged me rent. My mom couldn't meet my eyes. I stood up. You can leave now. They left in silence. Weeks passed. No calls. No texts. Then finally, a message from my mom. We've dropped it. Don't contact us either. I didn't reply. I didn't feel sad. I felt relief. I healed completely. Went back to work. Found my own apartment. Small, but mine. I used my savings and bonus to furnish it exactly how I wanted. For years, I'd tried to earn approval from people who only saw me as useful when I was exploitable. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I started therapy, worked through the betrayal, built a chosen family with Jenna and others who actually cared. One day, I got a message from a distant cousin. Heard what happened. I'm so sorry. You deserved better. I smiled as I typed back. I know. And I'm finally giving that to myself. If this story hit home, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I read every single one. Have you ever had to choose yourself over toxic family? Share your story below. You're not alone. And if you know someone who's been abandoned by the people who should have protected them, send them this video. Sometimes we all need a reminder that we're worth more than how we've been treated. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.